Hello? Hello? Oh, we can't see me properly, hang on. It ain't a Stoic stream without the skill issue, am I right? How's everybody doing? Are you doing okay?
It's free real estate.
It's free real estate, thank you for the bits. Right off the bat, Dio, I appreciate that. Welcome in, Felicity. Welcome in, Max. Welcome in, Catherine. Welcome in, Shark. Good to see you. In fact, VIP Shark. Tank Agito. No, I have added Shark Tank Agito as a VIP of this channel. Fuck yeah. Hey, Stoic, guess what? Chicken butt. Felicity is a super neat bird person. And I think that they're the best. I think that they're great. I love the sound of their voice. I love it when they stream. I look forward to seeing them stream the next time. Hey, Stoic, check this out. No. Welcome in, Queen. Welcome in. How are you doing? Welcome in, some Axel. Welcome in, Callisto and Keith. Good to see you. And Max Forge VT, are you here? Is that Jade? Is that Jade behind me? Look at that. It's McFucking Jade. Can you see them? You can see them. You can come over here. Don't go too far that way. Don't. You will die. This is a bad place. This is not a nice place. You can sit right by me. You can get weird. Come on, just get weird with me. I still need to stream. I feel that. Me too. Can I compliment you? Absolutely. You should compliment Felicity. Felicity deserves all of it. Huh? Wait, I'm VIP? Yeah, I like the cut of your jib. Your jib cut is really good. How is everybody doing? How are you? Today's gonna be a bit of a weird one. Weird in a good way, I hope. Thank you for flipping me over. I appreciate it. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're gonna be doing about, well, up to 2 hours of Stoicism Stream, which means I'm gonna be talking at you and with you about things, and things may help you. Things may be nice to listen to while you're vibing and doing other stuff in the background. Hopefully, and this is totally fucking me up. I can't do with Dark World by Game Chops right now. I need to get right into the Soulsborne soundtrack. There we go. Perfect. I need to be sad. I need sadness. Are you fisting? Let's go then. Fists up. Commenting me activates my fight or flight and I don't fly. What do you mean you don't fly? You're a bird person. Unless you're the type of bird that can fly, which makes total sense. Makes total sense to me. So we're gonna talk for about 2 hours. I'm gonna give you a breakdown in just a moment. Also, welcome in, Mr. Creepypasta. Good to see you. Final Fantasy 11, that's still open. Yes, in multiple ways. So we are on the Horizon 11 private server, which is interestingly, perhaps to some of us, is where I originally started streaming. I was a Final Fantasy 11 private server streamer exclusively until an event happened called the Clappening, and the Clappening is what caused me to become a variety streamer. Forever after that, basically. I mean, we've dabbled. We've dabbled back into Final Fantasy 11 sometimes, but the actual retail Final Fantasy 11 is still going, if you can believe that. And assuming that the suggestion given like 8 years ago is still true, then the developers are planning on keeping Final Fantasy 11 going, even adding little updates. Like they updated it like a year ago with more content, like more story content. So it's like one of those things where as long as it makes the tiniest bit of money, they're still going to do shit to it. Why the fuck are you hovering over there? Because, okay, so the reason why I'm gonna point you back towards the Aurora Borealis. The reason why is because of this. So you don't really get to see this toggle very often because it is very wide. It do be very wide. So the only way that you can really see the full thing is if I'm in the middle of the screen, for better or worse. We're gonna go back to our normal positions and everything once we swap over to Chronos, the New Dawn, Part 4, which is gonna happen probably within the next like hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours. Complimenting me, I already read that. Also, Stoic, how dare you shout me out? Double dare you? Stoic, why the fuck are you hovering over there? I honestly want to try 11. It seems cool. It is, yes. My recommendation to you is that if you are interested in Final Fantasy XI's story, then play retail. If you are interested in the ball-crushing experience that was Final Fantasy XI circa 2007, then you should play on the Horizon 11 private server. The Horizon 11 private server is still extremely populated, and I love it for that. There's like 1,500 people playing right now. The developers are great. The community is great. And honestly, I'm totally content here. I'm just waiting, honestly, to become at least a partial Final Fantasy XI streamer again, because they're going to be working on and re-releasing Treasures of Otagon at some point, probably when they can figure out this absolutely fucking crazy system called Besieged, which maybe never. They might never be able to figure that out because they have to like reverse engineer it essentially from nothing. Why are you sad? Why are you floating in the half center? Dingus, I just explained it to you. Oh, sorry. I'm reading out of order. I have my OBS like on my main monitor, and I'm not used to seeing so much at once. Near fucking wide 90% screen coverage, please. I could, the true wide scholar. I could do that. I could become bigger. You like this? You like this, you slut? Bro can't read the message, right? You know he can't do his own shoutouts. I could do my own shoutouts, yeah. Shout out Jane. There you go. Look at that. Amazing, incredible, fantastic. So I get to shout out command on me. I dare you. Why are you trying to goat me? Why are you trying to goad me over here? Welcome in, Max Forge VT. Max Forge VT is having a stepathon on Friday, tomorrow.
Excuse me, bitch.
Hang on. What is it? Yeah, man. It's Friday. It's Friday. His subathon is going to start at 4 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. GMT, and I'm going to be there for Halo ODST at 6:45. It's 6:45. I'm going to be places. Listen, I only got a lot of shit going on. Why were you playing these nuts? You're on stream. How did you forget the time? Because I have a lot of shit going on, brother. All right, I got frickin' Buff Pup spamming my DMs on one end. I've got Grimmy fucking melting my phone with the number of calls that she's sending to me directly, and it's starting to make my wife suspicious. You know, you hear me? Got Shia Lily blowing up my text messages saying shit like, "When are we collabing next? I miss you." If it's something I did, I'm sorry. And I'm like, listen, I'm not Cinder. All right, I will answer you in the order in which you are received. And she's still doing it, dude.
See this guy?
Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, die. There's lots of shit going on.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Bearish upon me with these nuts. I know those guys. Yeah. Stoic won't collab with me either. Here we go. Everybody grab a number. You grab a number and tell me how I've wronged you. He hates me. No, I don't hate you. I'm just in hate with you. There's a subtle difference. Okay. I'm too big. It's too big. It's too big. Do you need to see the bottom? I feel like I'm just gonna set this to, hang on. I'm gonna change this. I don't like the look of it now. I'm gonna make myself bigger. Yeah. Move myself down. There we go. And then I can, and that can be a little bigger. Myself right here. That's okay. Oh, this is a cute little game. I thought there was just the one Final Fantasy Online game. Welcome in, Connie VT. Shout out, Connie VT. Connie VT is a Lamia VTuber that has 7 snakes. And if I'm understanding correctly, they're also a very accomplished artist, and their model fits them perfectly. Thanks for shout out, absolutely. Welcome in, welcome in. We're doing kind of like an unorthodox stream today, so don't mind me. But we're gonna get right into it, okay? Like the other Stoicism Stream specials, on top of talking about self-up life advice strats, just general enough to apply to whatever might be bothering you today, or tomorrow, or yesterday, a little or a lot, this stream is going to double function like you, chatter, are just hanging out and drinking coffee with me, and we're talking about the way that our brains work. I use an anonymous sign-up list message site called Marshmallow that you can plug questions, comments, feedback you have about anytime, anything, in case you want to ask something, but it might be sensitive to you or you don't want it associated with your Twitch username. It works like the advice box did in Fire Emblem Three Houses. If you do register with Marshmallow, it'll let me directly reply to you. Links are pinned at the top of Twitch chat. Can be summed up with !AMA on Twitch, that is. This link isn't going to go away after stream, so if anything comes up in mind in the future, just drop it in there, and I should be able to reply to it directly again if you signed up. I do have 7 snakes. I remember, listen, let's go, I remember things. Woo! Woo! I need a little pick-me-up. I need a little bit of, I need a little bit of dressing on my feel-good salad.
Stoic is a very good boy.
Yes, I am.
Stoic is a very good boy.
Yes, I am. Thank you, Keith.
Stoic is a very good boy.
Oh yeah,
Stoic
dude.
is a very good
that hits
boy.
different, man. That hits way harder than I thought it
Stoic
would.
is a very good boy.
Ooh. I do have 7 snakes, 1 corn, 1 ball python, 2 sand boas, 1 carbon python, 1 red-tailed boa, and 1 woma. Like, what's your bill food-wise? Because that's, I don't know, I have no frame of reference for how much maintenance snakes take, if anything. Snakes are like the cats of the reptile world, right? Essentially. Keith still has whiplash from the audio clip. That sounds right. I would too. Also, thank you for the headpans, Catherine, in YouTube chat. I appreciate you. And for base covering purposes, I'm not accredited, I'm not certified, I'm not licensed anywhere to perform psychological or philosophical counseling. I can say that I know that I've helped people according to them, and anything I ever say in a Stoicism stream, I practiced or applied myself to real-world situations. There's not normally a minimum or maximum amount of time that this thing is going to run. Typically, we just keep talking until it feels like a good time to stop. We'll take a break eventually, so I can move things around and stretch and ease snack, and then around then, you probably should too. We'll come back and finish off the night with part 4 of Chronos the New Dawn. I think we're about halfway through the game. I'm fucking loving it, so I'm going to be finishing it. And it seems like you guys like it too. Algorithmically, it seems to be doing pretty good. And also, thank you for that, Bad Shark Tank. Around 100-ish of dead rats and mice, that'll do it per month. We knew you'd add it to your repertoire. I do, I have trauma. Did Keith hear it though? I need you to understand. Is it too loud? I want it to be like pitch perfect.
Stoic is a very good boy. Stoic is a very good boy.
Hand pants for Keith. Hand pants. Jade is an extremely good mod. One of the nicest people that I've ever met, is extremely cute and down to earth, is adorable coded, and is inherently interesting to talk to. You butt wipe, it's gonna happen again. I'm yelling, I can't hear you, blah, blah, blah. I can't hear you over the sound of your own voice calling me a good boy. A lot of what's gonna come out of my mouth might feel heavy or intense. If you have any questions about anything that we go over after the stream ends and you don't mind asking me directly, you can reach out to me on Discord, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Lastly, before we actually get started, why am I doing this? Well, it's because I owe a debt. I owe this movement, the philosophy, these people from thousands of years ago for who I am, and the belief that I can actually become the type of person that I wanted to be since I was a kid through my own efforts. I owe it to people going through what I did the majority of my life, hopefully to help give them the tools they need to reclaim themselves before they feel lost or alone like I did. It is a goal to stream part-time, and if we get there full-time, so I have as many opportunities as possible to impact people that are suffering like that. If I continue helping even one person every stream, I consider it accomplishing my core goals, no matter how much or how little money flows through the channel, or whether I float 1 million followers or 1,000, and I do see the problem with the flame babies getting blocked. I'll take care of that. There we go. Welcome in, Cliff. I would like everybody to know that I noticed Cliff pop up in TikTok chat immediately. Immediately. You need to be proud of me. You need to be proud of me now. It's so important that you're proud of me for doing that. I'm trying to be cool. Me too, brother. I am too. I feel that. I feel that. How is it over in TikTok chat? I'm gonna be honest with you. Setting up TikTok is hell every time. You are cool, Cliff. Now you're even cooler. What is the AMA? Oh, ask me anything. Like if you want to ask for feedback or if you want to give me feedback or advice or just say hi anonymously or via the sign up, you can click on, I'll just type in the chat, AMA. You can click on that link and send it right on over. The only thing that I ask is that you don't put any identifiable information in there. Like, don't be like, I, Booty Cheeks McGee, that lives at 6969 Big Bussy Basitos Boulevard. I want to ask you a question. Don't do that. TikTok is my most hated platform to try to be on. Everything, I thought that YouTube was bad. TikTok is like infinitely worse. It's like they're trying to any percent speed run how to like be the most unintuitive piece of shit ever, man. I mean, I love TikTok. Wow, boy howdy do I love TikTok. In case the TikTok CEO is listening, good golly gosh, do I fucking thirst. Do I thirst me some fucking TikTok, man. Damn, so I leave my Discord and email and shaking my head. I knew I remembered it from somewhere. Welcome in, Vinny. It's good to see you. We're still in id mode from giving us a lesson. I'll go goth mode for a bit. Okay, well, ask me anything. Let's go back to holding hands to the window. Yes, it's Dawes, Stoics Learning. Good boy, I've been there. Should just be me, haha. Oh, purple. Yes, yes, yes. Everything that I'm about to say to you, I've applied to myself, including right now with every word I speak and every thought that I have. From the time that I wake up to the time that I go to bed, I'm constantly running through certain thought processes to the point that it's not totally dissimilar from breathing. I succeed for the big majority part and generally applying the techniques that I harped to myself about. When I've misstepped or I've acted in a way that on reflection wasn't how I'd like, I've been able to identify where the missteps happened, why, and how to gently pivot myself back into place. Let me check something real quick. I just want to make sure that my fucking phone fan is on. It is. How very exciting. Me getting into the state of being didn't happen all at once, and it won't for you. You will, however, start to see small differences. Little tweaks in your own behavior that might catch you off guard. You should let these moments, if they happen, when they happen, to motivate you. Embrace them completely. Why people stream varies hugely between people. Much of the time, the goals point to something outside. People can find streaming on its own enjoyable because it involves a lot of interesting tech forming a kind of digital orchestra. And when all the pieces are piecing and chat is vibing, it can be very fun, neat, and interesting. It can be comforting too, fulfilling a natural social need that all humans have, regardless of how big or small you consider your social battery to be. I'm back on the familiar platform. Hell yeah. Welcome back to... Well, I was gonna say the better platform. It is better in some respects, but it definitely could try harder also. Are you ready for a jamboree? So I won't be able to join on Saturday, but I will be present for it. I'm very excited to see what you guys get up to. For me, it's gonna be as if I've streamed functionally every day for like the last 6 days. So I definitely need to give myself a break at that point. But I am excited to watch. We switch it for Sunday. Oh yeah, this Sunday. Yeah. I still will be watching. I won't be able to join. Sorry, my brain is in like 100 different places. Last time you played Jamboree with us, that clip was very hilarious. It's the lead for clip of the year. I fucking loved it, man. I had a lot of fun. When we played Jamboree, and I'm sorry that I'll have to miss this one. Stu Scott to handle, welcome in. It's good to see you, buddy. I hope you're having a great one. Shout out to Scott to handle. All right, whoopsie doodles. I don't want to do that. Some might seem streaming as an escapism vehicle, a distraction, or a counterbalance to negative things happening in their lives, because it forces you to split focus your attention even a little bit on something else. Others might see streaming as a quote-unquote way out or forward, hoping that the next big post, the next stream, the next meme will be the one that makes them go big, or makes them popular, or well-off, or influential. Yet others might see streaming primarily as a chance to get back in some way, to make the world a little less rough for the people that are spending time with them. None of these motivations are mutually exclusive, with some reasons overtaking others in kind of like a big sloppy pool of shifting priorities. Streaming is an escape for sure. It definitely is for me a little bit. It's like you have to focus on what's right in front of you, and especially now where I'm trying to listen or watch out for 3 different platforms at the same time. I gotta go. My throat is starting to hurt. I'll catch you in next stream. Soka Jade, thank you for being here. Catherine, YouTube chat, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Have a good one. None of these motivations are mutually exclusive. And they can be happening all at once. To differing degrees, all of these reasons point at least a little bit to something external. To something outside the parts of the brains that we refer to as me or I. I will also note now that if you toss in any marshmallows at me, if you have any questions based off of anything that I say, I will periodically stop and I'll check my marshmallow page and see if anything came in. And then unless you tell me, like, I don't want you to read this out right now, you can read it later, like, don't worry about it right this second, I'll try to respond to it in real time based off of my personal experience and recommendations and so on. And if it's something that needs a more nuanced or targeted answer, I will just tell you that. I'll be like, I won't have an opportunity to, like, to treat this with the grace and the depth that it deserves just yet, but I will after stream. In Stoicism, there's checks and balances you run through whenever you're considering doing or saying anything. What is my role in this situation? How does this role affect the people around me? Will me doing or saying this thing cause me to lose my integrity, or break a promise to someone, or hurt me as a social and irrational creature? What sort of things can I reasonably expect? And how should I prepare myself for, due to the nature of this thing that I'm trying to do? The point of all these little checks is to forcibly drag your brain inward and force it to see things from the perspective of your own mental health and well-being as a priority. The end result, at minimum, is that when things don't go as well as you might have expected, or as well as you might have hoped, such as a subathon underperforming, or tech issues randomly cropping up when nothing was changed, or trolls appearing and saying things and throwing you off, the impact is softer. When you're in tune with yourself, you'll naturally see all situations, positive or negative, as a chance to practice resolve, inner strength, mindfulness, courage, patience, endurance. It takes a hot minute to get there, and some days it'll be easier to keep up on, or keep up after, than others. I think something just came in. Let me check. MarshmallowQA.com, verifying you are human by completing the action below. Don't mind if I do. 2. Okay. Let me see. Hey, love you. This ain't an AMA, but you should know. Proud of you. Keep on keeping on. I will do that. I actually have no choice. I'm forever going to be like this. I appreciate you. Thank you for the nice thing. I can heart this. I don't know why I can heart this. I don't know if it tells you that I've hearted it or not. Thank you for the nice thing. How do you separate the realities of base instinct and morality when base instinct can mean mental and emotional survival and you rely on that, but everyone preaches morality at all costs? How do you separate the realities of base instinct and morality when, hang on. Let me absorb this for a second. When base instinct can mean a mental and emotional survival and you rely on that, but everyone preaches morality. I think I understand what you're saying. There's a little bit to unpack there. Oh, that's the exact song that I wanted for this. I don't know if you're like me, chat, but I use music to try to force myself into a mindset, or to keep myself in the mindset that I want to be in, especially when I'm writing. I listen to Dark Souls shit literally all the time. If it's fucked up and sad, then I love it. I love being sad. It's one of my favorite emotions. Robot has to prove he's human, classic. I do too when it comes to music stuff. So, the realities of base instinct and morality, when base instinct can mean a mental and emotional survival and you rely on that, but everyone preaches morality at all costs. So I will try to answer the question to the best of my ability. I will say that based off of the way that this question is framed, how you, person that submitted this, and how I think of instinct and morality and so on and so forth are very, very different. If I were to translate this, I would say that it could be that this person is suggesting that morality is something that's like imposed on them, right? That is typically in the framework of something like religious is how I would imagine this is being framed, like a belief system or a religion that's like being imposed on them or about them, so on and so forth. First, I can only speak from like the Stoic lens. I literally have no choice. It's the thing that I've grafted onto my brain. So if you, person that submitted this, if you're still here, if you're comfortable with that, then I'll answer. So for the Stoics, morality is
Welcome in, Raiders.
I want to be careful with how I answer this. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Saxus Spells. It's very good to see you. Welcome in, Bad Kitty 23. Welcome in, Jadobi. It's good to see you. How are your stream? Or how was your stream? We're doing Stoicism Stream 15, and we're answering the question: how do you separate the realities of base instinct and morality when base instinct can mean a mental and emotional survival, and you rely on that, but everyone preaches morality at all costs? So for the Stoics, the only good in life is virtue. The only bad thing in life is vice. Being a good person or being a bad person depends entirely on the choices that you make and the reasons why you make them. Your judgments that underpin everything that you do and why you do it. So the nature of evil, according to a Stoic named Epictetus, does not exist externally. Everything that we do, the things that we try to do, the intentions that we do them with, is what morality is. Because you can't, per Stoicism, you can't be involved in anything. You can't be forced to be evil by someone else. I know that's not what you're saying, but it also is taking into consideration your question of how do I persist when everyone's trying to impose like what they consider to be moral or morality onto myself. It's insufficient. Like you're basically asking me like how do I persist when people are like telling me like what good or bad is. It all comes down to your intentions, because if they are imposing on you what they consider to be goodness or badness, they're doing what seems to be best to them. They're communicating as best as they can within the rules that they're familiar with. You have to react to them according to like your best intentions. They can't involve you in any evil, even if they physically compel your body otherwise. I'm not answering this in a way that I know will be helpful to you. So it's one of those things where I would message me like after signing in or like after register and then send me, say like, hey, I'm the one that asked the question earlier, so I can actually like sit down and like write to you like a more fully fledged response. Welcome in, Azerdar, Crossroads Demon. How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. It's Access Spells is now Story Witch. And Becky 23 is a very cozy person. Let me refresh this. Okay. Just woke up from nap, so pretty good. Well, good, I'm glad. And I might answer your question accidentally while I'm going. I never get to raid you. Woo! I appreciate you, Snacks. I do. So in Stoicism, there's checks and balances you run through whenever you're considering doing or saying anything. What's my role in this situation? How does this role affect the people around me? Will me doing or saying this thing cause me to lose my integrity, break promises, or hurt me as a social and rational creature? What sort of things can I reasonably expect and should prepare myself for due to the nature of this thing that I'm trying to do? The point of all these little checks and balances is to forcibly drag your brain inward and force it to see things from the perspective of your own mental health and well-being as a priority. It's difficult to navigate through Anon from Marshmallow, but there is a way to navigate through the maze of it all. The point of all these little checks and balances is to drag your brain inward. The end result, at minimum, is that when things don't go as well as you might have expected or hoped, such as like a subathon underperforming, or tech issues cropping up, or trolls appearing, the impact is softer. It takes a hot minute to actually get to this frame of mind. Some days it'll be easier than others. For Chatty's talking about streaming stuff at the moment. The streaming role, tying it back, has a set of expectations revolving around it that if we just tank it or eat the effects, can affect us pretty bad in a variety of unique and unfortunate ways. Human beings, per Stoics, can adapt to virtually anything with enough time, good or bad. If good, we have a tendency to try to get more of whatever we think caused the good feelings. If bad, we have a tendency to try to avoid or balance or blame or even attack the things that we think cause the bad things. This also increases the chances that we hand over control of our brains to the things we think, to the people that we think could get us the good things or help us to avoid the bad things. The most insidious thing that a streamer deals with on a daily basis, the thing that seems to compel all of us one way or another just by glancing at it, is the line. The line, or numbers, conditions us to always try to make it go up. Because it going up gives us the mirage, the illusion, that we're much closer to achieving the thing. And by the line going down, we get the impression the thing is now further away. The line will do what it will do despite our best efforts, or resources, or time invested. It's pixels on a screen. It has no concern for us. It exists to be seen going up or down. It has no voice, has no thoughts, no dreams, no presence. To Stoics, all things in life are tools and materials for self-improvement or role modeling, including, and especially, the feelings themselves that you're underperforming or that you aren't up to the moment due to the line. The line, and things materially related to the line, such as follows or subs or reposts and likes and so on, have no qualities other than to exist. They don't tell us that they're important. We're the ones that ascribe them those values. We're also the ones that allow them to possibly turn us against other people, make us jealous or envious or against ourselves by suggesting inwardly that we're not good enough in whatever capacity. Over a year now, while still feeling very early into the flow of what kind of content or what I wanted to make or what sort of streamer I visualized myself as, I misstepped. In both good and bad situations, it's always important to reflect on our own behaviors too and comprehend ourselves why we believe so, and do so. By understanding that, we can figure out how our thought processes chain from one point to another and how we function with a bit more clarity, bit by bit, to know ourselves better too and why we are that way. I agree. Yep, that's very insightful. That's good. While I was still trying to visualize what sort of streamer I was trying to be, I misstepped and let myself get hit pretty bad by this idea that I wasn't good enough, or that I didn't know what sort of streamer that I wanted to be. And it caused me to go through what was my first, and if I have any literal say whatsoever, last instance of streamer drama. As it goes, I was very good friends with someone. This person had never wronged me in any way. I was focused almost entirely on staying true to what was at the time a pretty unclear path for me of combining my personal philosophy and stoicism with my streaming in an organic and authentic way. For me, then, as now, my priority was never doing or saying anything that would cause me to betray my life philosophy or the people that depended on me, and it, even the tiniest bit, for guidance or comfort. I'm by far more grounded now than I was then. At the time, streaming was surely but slowly picking up for me. The friend I mentioned took their content in a very different direction than mine, which is and was their full right to do, but it put me in a very strange place in a way I'd never experienced before. I didn't feel fully comfortable pairing up our communities anymore, and I was unsure how to reconcile that with being their friend. So I defaulted to the closest thing that my philosophy suggested that I do, which is if I wasn't able to have the presence and strength of mind to rise above what I was feeling and diplomatically work them out openly with a person, I should strategically retreat until I was able to overcome those feelings, and in so doing, make this next steps more clear, hopefully with the end result of feeling I could be a genuine friend again. The person picked up that I was becoming withdrawn, and we had a falling out. And after a while, we started to talk again, and I made a promise to them, which was that if I ever felt the way that I was again, I would make sure to communicate it. I wanted to explain to them, I wanted to stress to them that I made the mistake, I didn't handle it, I was trying to handle it in the best possible way that I knew how, based off of my personal philosophy, and I misstepped. I made a mistake. I never pretended to be perfect, and I wanted to make it up to him. Eventually, I was doing like a Discord purge, and because I was hardly active in any Discord, including my own, and I left theirs because they hadn't rejoined mine since, which was totally fine. I didn't expect them to, and I didn't think about it, and perhaps I should. They saw it as me kind of going back on my promise, try to communicate it, but it was made impossible. Sorry, it still affects me even after all this time. To be honest with you, I'm the type of person that if I make a mistake, I try to go out of my way to make good on it, to try to just figure out where I messed up, and to try to help myself and other people through it to the best of my ability. Welcome in, Wise A Ragnarok. Good to see you. It's best to retreat when one's emotions are in turmoil. Thank you for the hydrate. It's best to retreat when one's emotions are in turmoil, as acting upon irrational or distressing emotions can lead to consequences that one does not expect. Being in the proper mindset with a rational emotional state is best in order to do what you can. You can only control what you do for yourself, but you can never control what others do or believe, as each person has their own way that they see the world around them. That's right. Yeah, I agree with them. Or I agree with you. That was the first and last time that I ever wanted to have any kind of drama like that again. I'm much more grounded now than I was then. I'm much more sure of myself and my space and my community and what sort of spaces I want to enter into or recommend to the people that depend on me in any way, shape, or form, even as a friend, people that look up to me, so on and so forth. I recognize that as a streamer, whether you have one viewer or 1,000 on a regular basis, you are in a fishbowl, and people are observing you, and people are watching what you're doing, and without you even knowing it or being fully cognizant of it, people do pay attention to what you do. They listen to you. They might take insight from how you've reacted to different situations, and they might try to emulate that without ever mentioning any of this. Each person has a world around them, which in reality of how they perceive things around them by interacting with one another, it's like meshing one of them together in that moment. But just like that, just like how that world around them, each individual is about their own experiences between one another come and go in every moment of interaction and non-interaction. We learn from one another, from the good and bad, and we learn to grow from it best we can in our own way. Those who you don't think are watching are watching. Welcome in, Virtue Vtuber, 2-inch tall mouse man. I highly recommend. There's a hidden solution to combating negative feelings when streams don't happen to go well, or also, very importantly, not letting it get to your head when things happen to be going great. As I mentioned to somebody else that was asking questions about that, how to tackle like imposter syndrome in themselves, my recommendation, per my personal philosophy that I apply to everything that I think, say, and do, is to think less of how you feel in response to streaming as you not rising to the challenge. Your focus, in my opinion, is to, and in my experience, is to rob the things that you're afraid of any power that they have over you to influence you one way or another. Without a doubt, it makes it harder than you might think. You're always on when you're live. Thanks for the shadow. You're harder when somebody's never done it, I might think. There's a guy from my old high school that I wouldn't watch. Somebody who plays games come up to me about me watching, and it blows my mind. And those situations are very, very cool. I love those situations. Probably like that, and I will never take it for granted, ever, when people happen to take the time to like make art of me or say that they watched my videos, and like my first thought process is like, that's so cool that you did that. That is so cool that you did that. I'm just a guy. Thank you for doing that. Ads are starting in about 4 minutes. You can avoid them in their entirety by subscribing, which is free with Amazon Prime. It's 25% off until October 1st. That's why we practice bit by bit. It can be difficult at first, but sometimes talking to somebody that you trust and who wants the best for you can help you out to get into that mindset at first. As you get practice over time, you start building up that skill, knowledge, and experience. Ad timer isn't working, so at some point, Twitch changed something so that the ad timer is no longer working properly the first time. It has to run through ads first. Like, it's like I'm pointing it directly at the ads manager, which I'm looking at right now, but it's almost like it doesn't refresh until it's technically interacted with the first time. Now I can hit snooze right here, and I can do 3 snoozes per hour, and I get 1 back every hour. Like, if I press something to get it to interact, it should fix it in a moment. I might have to press it twice. I don't know why. I'll just press it twice. It's been a while since I hit the snooze button. There we go. Then it refreshed. If it goes through ads once, it fixes itself forever after that. And I cannot figure out why it's deciding to be like that. They just rolled out the VOD playback feature too. Probably gonna break things. Live VOD playback, like a rewind. Really? That's interesting. Yeah, I found it a little bit weird that they didn't have that to begin with. That's good to know, because like sometimes you do miss stuff, or there's like a funny moment. You want to go back and you don't want to, like, technically you can click on videos under a person's page and then click on, I think, what was like what's being actively recorded, and then go back that way. But being able to just like do it from the player that you're already looking on saves you like 4 steps, which is nice. Well, with what Jade said, I do believe you're always watching even if you're not on camera, so you should always be mindful of that. Absolutely. So I used to be a resident assistant in college, and I was at one point preparing to go into higher education residence life, and all of my effort went into trying to take care of the people that depended on me, and I formed respect-based relationships with everybody that was on my floor, and I never had any issues. I was always able to work it out with the people that were there, and people would say that they were thankful that I was their resident assistant, and I will never forget that. It made such an impact on me. I remember the first floor meeting that I had with people, and it was still very early into me being a stoic. And it was scary to summon up like 30 dudes like into this tiny space. And I can almost verbatim remember what I told them. I said to them, that if I ever need to do something, like if I ever need to call them out on something, or if I ever need to report something, it's because I need to do it in order for me to stay in the position so that I can then have the resources, the chances to try to make their lives better in whatever limited degree that I can. I told them that the same thing basically that I said to you, the royal you, my community, for however long. Thank you for the stretch 3 minutes ago, and I took the hydrate. I appreciate that, Callisto. I took it very seriously. I said to them that I will never lie to you. I will never take advantage of your trust. You can confide in me. Like if there's anything that's going on and you think that I can meaningfully help you, I will be there. You just let me know. It's gonna be, I mean, you're gonna be the ones that are gonna be watching me to see if I mean the things that I say, and I do. I believe that I am. I believe that I'm being genuine, but you will see for yourself whether I am or not. Hope everyone here is having a wonderful week. I think we're doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm chilling. I'm vibing. I'm being productive. I think when it comes to that, it's just a matter of being a decent person. We do our best towards ourselves and those around us. I got an email about it. It only works for subscribers and Turbo, though. What the fuck? Okay, bro. It's just like, I mean, that's real YouTube saying that. That's real YouTube saying that, sorry, it's a YouTube premium feature to be able to have videos playing with the screen off. Like, what do you mean? Just do it. What a weird interaction, man. What about you in 60? Working but got it fast, almost done. 60, I'm not sure. Probably napping. Wishing you energy and good success at work. For 60, have a good nap too. Reminds me of how I did things back when I did read my research too, so when you mentioned about the resident care stuff in parallel, I mean, and I've always extended that out to any job that I've worked, where I was like a manager or assistant manager. When I worked at GameStop as an assistant manager, and there was like a carousel of managers for like 3 or 4 months. The staff that were there basically relied on me as the functional manager. So it's one of those things where like it's at least partially the moment that calls upon you, and you have to react to the moment, and you could choose to do so as constructively as you can or poorly. Some YouTube streamers say it's a curse because there's constantly chatters responding to stuff from the past. That sounds right. That tracks. That's also a little bit funny. There's a hidden solution to combating negative feelings when streams don't happen to be going well, or just letting it get to your head if they happen to be going great. You rob the challenges of any power or hold that they might have over you. Deliberately, consciously, take whatever the external goals are, such as escapism, or fame, or money, or influence, and wrench them inward into the sphere of only what you can control. How do I take the fact that I'm worried about my streams underperforming and get myself to worry instead about only doing my best with what my time and tech and resources allow? How do I worry less about what XYZ troll did or said on or off stream and get myself to worry more about how I could be a role model for a person that feels like that's a reasonable way to live or be happy? Let me check the Marshmallow page real quick. Is there a healthy way to perceive the line, the numbers? I've never expected anything, so don't experience a low. I never expect anything, so don't experience a low if numbers are low, and never experience a high if they're a high. Streaming is just something, and I never look at the numbers. I would say that a lot of people would be envious of you, just naturally thinking that way. A lot of streamers are, in some cases, in a fair number of cases, probably have a very complicated, unhealthy relationship with the line or the numbers, in the sense that if they happen to be going down, and it's not super clear why, then it can lead a person to become toxic towards themselves, because they are basing, at least to the tiniest degree, their impression of their own self-worth or their dreams and hopes, and they're tying it to how these numbers, these lines behave. And it's not their fault that they're doing that. And in the grand scheme of things, we are raised, especially in the United States, under a culture where it's relentless productivity at all times, every time, performing to beyond reasonable expectations or circumstances, that, you know, we have popular figures marched in front of us literally all the time. People are made to look and sound perfect in most or all of our media to some degree. So it's relentless, and some of that, at least a little bit, gets mapped onto our impressions. It's not totally dissimilar to the idea that by a certain age, we need to have accomplished certain things. We need to, and I'm saying generally in the cultural headspace, which I believe is erroneous, but nevertheless, that by a certain age, you need to have a house. By a certain age, you need to be working a certain job, making a certain amount. You need to be with someone. You need to be doing XYZ things in order to not perceive yourself as being healthy or of sound mind or in a good psychological place, but to be perceived as being successful or healthy. which do be bananas. That's when you frame it like that, it do be crazy. So it's like an extension of that thought process that we feel, okay, we've been doing this streaming thing for X amount of time, so I don't understand why number is lower than normal, or why Z thing is happening when it didn't before, when I didn't change anything. We have this impression that it must be perfect because it has no choice but to be perfect, because the alternative is that I am failing, I am not doing well. Or it's going by as fast as almost done. I already read that. Let's see, I already read that. It's not like just the USA, it's also a very international thing now. You get into the mindset based on the given situation, and I need to stretch too. Oh, for sure, it's hard not to pay attention to numbers in a form of affluenza culture that has affected every aspect of our life. Always have to be keeping up with the Jones in internet form. And just like the numbers, just like the line, just like the other aspects of streaming, just like the numbers of followers that we have on different socials, or the numbers of chatters that we get, or the amount of subs that we have, or anything like that, all of these things have no quality other than to exist. They again are pixels on a screen. They do not announce to us any more than like a block of gold tells us that it's valuable, or that money tells us that it's worth something. It only has as much worth, it only has as much weight as we personally ascribe to it. And similarly, or exactly the same thing with the streaming related numbers, is that it's up to us how much or how little we allow these different levers, these bars going up and down, to invoke a feeling of self-worth in us. And it's not, I'm not suggesting even remotely that it's easy to actually think that way or to do something about your brain. It's lots and lots of little chippings away over and over and over, because you are undoing damage. You are reworking the way that your brain has been impressed upon to work since you were small. Since you started thinking in terms of things like I or me. They only have value if we put value into it by our own will, absolutely. Now, the Stoics would say, particularly Epictetus, I'm paraphrasing here because I have basically like all the books functionally memorized, but not literally memorized. a Stoic called Epictetus was talking to someone that was essentially going to become a butler, or like a servant, I should say. And the person that was asking Epictetus for advice was saying to him, everything that they want me to do is gross. Again, I'm paraphrasing. It's not how that's not how it was written in that's not how it was written in the book. But essentially the servant, the to-be servant person was like, that this thing is really gross that they want me to do. I don't want to do it. I don't feel like it's worth it or not. Like, I don't feel like it's worth it. And Epictetus was saying that in terms of us taking care of our physical forms, for us to maintain these meat sacks, again, I'm paraphrasing, that we happen to be occupying right now, if you are not compromising yourself, like as far as like your integrity, if you're not making yourself lose your self-respect, your impression of yourself, and you have to determine what you consider to be your self-respect and how much you value it, you have to determine if it's worth saying no, if it means that you are not able to eat or take care of your basic functions. Nothing is ever worth your mental health. It's not. And it gets harder, obviously, to actually think that way when it comes down to you being able to exist and eat and persist and have shelter and so on and so forth. But the Stoics were very, very intent on making sure that people were aware that that your integrity, your impression of your own self-worth is not worth any sacrifice. That, and it extends to streaming. They didn't have streamers back then. They do now. But I have heard from people, I have spoken to people that have said to me, I feel like I should go into like loot tubing because the thing that I'm doing isn't working. And the term isn't working is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. I don't want to do NSFW stuff, but I feel like I have to in order to get to where I want to be. The Stoics would say, the Stoics actually gave an example of going to a market. And at the market, you have money with which to buy things, yes? You go to a stall, if you buy something from the market, then you give your money and you get the thing, yes? That's the price that you paid.
Stoic.
Oh, thank you for the subscription, Narina. I appreciate that. It's already been 3 months. That's fucking wild to think about. Thank you, Narina. I really appreciate that. If you don't buy the thing, if you don't trade for whatever the stall has, you are not losing the thing that you would have received. You are keeping the thing that you would have traded away. In the same respect, people sell themselves at different prices per Epictetus. Just make sure that you don't do it cheaply. If you do, you should never, but if you do, make sure it's not for cheap. If you don't do NSFW, if you don't do loot tubing, not that there's anything wrong with that, okay? I just want to preface that. I'm saying it from the context of speaking with somebody who said to me that they don't want to do it. Then you are not losing the people that you would have gotten in this theoretical universe that you're creating in real time. You are keeping what you consider to be your self-worth. The people that are going to come to you as a streamer are going to do so because of the qualities that are unique to you and not for any other reason. If you were different, if you were making what you consider, and by you I mean a royal you, as in like this person that I was speaking to, if you were different, people would not come to you. They would go to somebody else that they think gets them close to the type of a streamer that they would want to watch for the qualities that you did possess. We have value if we put into value into our own will, like a marble stone. You chip into it and give form. If you will, it will never look like you want it to be at first. Is your own way, but with experience and knowledge, bit by bit, you carve that stone more and more, making it better, turning it into something beautiful, something that you want it to be. But it takes time and practice. It can always be achieved as long as effort is put into it. Also, welcome in, Owen Zero. I think I forgot to say hi when I got here, and now I'm sad and mad. As should be over. If so, welcome back, Omen. I kind of went on a big tangent. And welcome in, Reckoning Killer. It's good to see you, buddy. I kind of went on a big tangent. Going back to the question that was asked 15 minutes ago, is there a healthy way to perceive the numbers? Yes, there is. In Stoicism, all situations are useful for building the characteristics that make you either appreciate the things that happen to be nice, the things that happen to seem good or feel good for the time that you have them, while also having the ownership, the reservation clause that at some point those things are going to slip away. They're going to flow away. So appreciate them for the time that you have them. Make sure that you use them in order to try to improve the quality of life for other people if it's feasible to do so. But do not equate the presence of the nice thing, in this case, the numbers being good during a stream, as being part of your self-worth. You see it as an indicator, not as a proof of what you are. Okay? You see it as like a within the terms of your role, like a conventional, like a how do I say this? Like a buoy, like a way to help navigate or adjust or to pivot what you do and why you do it with your content, right? From like just in a conventional way. You appreciate it for the time that it's there without letting it get to your brain. And then you say, okay, this stream happened to do well. I'm going to look at it and I'm going to see what sorts of things people seem to gel with. Is it the genre? Do people like it when I play this particular genre? Do people seem to like it when... Do people seem to respond better with this overlay versus another one? Do people seem to like it when I play with a controller versus mouse and keyboard? It's something that you touch and go. You don't absorb it any more than you were before. If somebody like came to you within the stream and that happened to do well and was like, listen, I just love the way that you audio mix your setup and it's great, and I was very relaxed the whole time and so on and so forth, then, you know, absolutely let it be nice for you, but don't let it get to your ego, because that causes problems in its own way. Self-integrity is important. Knowing your worth, your value, who you are in order to preserve yourself matters, as you need to be comfortable with who you are in order to continue to grow as a person and be okay with who you are. What self-integrity means for each person is each person's own decision as a choice, and it's different for each and every person. There's something that only you can decide, never what others can impose on you. They may suggest things, but you're in control. I'm doing good. I'm doing great. For some reason, I get super fucking thirsty during these Stoicism streams. I don't know why. I don't know why my body, like, I think it's just because I'm a little bit sweaty, maybe. I don't know. I did lower the temperature in the house to 67 while Shimi was away, because as most of you are probably aware, I live in a converted community home, so it's like real wood on the outside, from like the 1900s, like late 1800s. So it's like real wood, and then and insulation, like real insulation, and then real wood on top of that. So it's like the whole house is naturally insulating, and then I have soundproofing on my ceiling and behind me, and all the heat gets trapped that gets output by my computer because the i9 14900 runs unbelievably fucking hot. Like, it's cool in there because of my water cooler, but it outputs all that heat out into the room that I'm in, so it gets trapped. It gets trapped in like 3 layers of insulation in the room. So like the difference in degrees and temperature between my room and the rest of the house is crazy. Is to talking for long periods, stay hydrated. I do that normally anyway, but it's like I'm keenly aware of how thirsty I am during these streams, particularly. To me, it's absolutely fair to feel proud. You had a great stream. People were engaged. Being proud of that is healthy, but it's just one moment in time. If you start chasing that feeling constantly, it could become unhealthy and give you tunnel vision, making it harder to notice everything that's happening around you. Proud of the moment, but not like your identity. Does that make sense? It absolutely does make sense. And so, like earlier in the stream, we talked a little, or I talked a little bit about how humans can adapt to anything. And it can manifest itself really unhealthily if you happen to be doing well and you let it get to your head. The not letting it get to your head part is extremely important, but unlike pain, desire and pleasure convinces you that it's something that should be embraced to the fullest possible extent that it can be. Whereas like with pain or fear, obviously you get away from the thing and then you feel fine. It pushes you away. The desire, the pleasure, it pulls you towards it. So it's way harder to resist, which is why you can have situations where, like Elon Musk, for example, has infinite resources and infinite money and infinite influence, essentially, even now. He has more money and more resources and more things than any other human being alive that has ever lived. I'm pretty sure he's the richest person on the planet. And yet he is not happy. The Stoics would look to that and say that is literally proof that there has to be something separate from just having everything that's good. That it's proof that bad people having everything on the whole planet is not goodness. It cannot equate to being good. And that's why they run through the whole gamut of intentionality and goodness and evilness coming from the decisions that you make and why you try to make them. And why you have instances of like streamers that have like huge like drama scandals and things like that, because they feel as though they are acclimating to like all these really nice things, and is starting to equate their self-worth with those nice things being there, and they feel like there needs to be that upward mobility or trend always in order for them to continue feeling that way, and comparisons and so on and so forth. It's good to be proud of a great stream, and it's also important to meditate on all in order to break it down and understand it so that you can keep yourself grounded while appreciating the good job you've done that day. We gotta get him to hydrate more. Welcome in, Lilywigs. It's good to see you. Lilywigs is a pixie VTuber and artist, and I love their voice. Sometimes they think people need to be reminded it's okay to feel proud of something. It doesn't mean that they are like arrogant. It's true. I agree with that. You're correct. It's important to be proud of your accomplishments, to remember that you can do better while also being reasonable, hence why meditating on it is good. So you appreciate your accomplishments while keeping yourself grounded, relish in it, and think about what you can do next. Let me refresh the marshmallow. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, no other marshmallows have come in, which is totally fine. Pounding this sort of questioning in your brain of how do I take the fact that I'm worried about what my streams are doing and getting myself to worry instead about am I doing my best with what my tech and time and resources allow, or how do I worry less about what X or Y person did and get myself to worry more about how I can be a role model for them. these kind of questions have a bending effect on your brain, on your psychology, where you have to be relentless. You have to be on top of it to the best that you can, before, during, after the height of the moment, since like something that's been in a certain shape for an extremely long time. Your brain is going to resist what you're trying to do to it and the way that you're trying to retrain it, and it's going to try to keep that shape. As a captain of the imposter syndrome crew, I have no pride in any of the accomplishments I make. I feign pride when it's expected, but I have zero pride or actual feeling of deserving. So even getting shouted out makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I know a few people that are like that, and I pick up on that. And for my own part, although the way that I arrive to that feeling is different, I do understand what you're saying, and I experience that sometimes too. It helps me personally to think of it not in terms that I'm undeserving of what's being done, that I'm undeserving of being shouted out. It's me putting myself in the headspace of the person as the priority, trying to understand and accept what's being done with the grace in which it is given, like with the intention that it's given. The person obviously doing the thing, doing the shouting out, feels that they are being nice, feels that they are being helpful, they can be genuine with their feelings towards you. And so it's helpful to reach outward from your brain and into the headspace of the other person when you're starting to feel that way. It seems to be effective for me, at least. But yeah. Yep. If you've enjoyed this so far, consider following. If you like this a lot of it and have the means to do so, consider subscribing. Until October 1st, 5+ gifteds, add a bonus sub to the end of it, and it will also make me drink this pilk. I'm not gonna drink a lot of it. I'm just gonna drink a little bit of it. It's not carbonated anymore. Unfortunately, ran out of all my CO2 canisters. So, you know, not like enthused about that because I can't like carbonate anything, can't essentially make my own soda anymore, but that's how it goes. I have parallel struggle with compliments and praises, so I worked on a plan with those around me who are aware of it, where I practice doing the act of appreciation in words and actions, having to force myself to do so over time more and more to ingrain it in myself. I still struggle at times, but I know I must keep trying, so I persist and bend my mind's old habits backwards. Yep, I agree with that. That's a good way of thinking. That's a good way of thinking. Okay, I don't have anything else prepared, so to speak, beyond that.
Thanks for supporting Stoic.
Thank you, Ragnickiller, for gifting a subscription to Lilywix. I appreciate that. That makes a big difference. I appreciate it. I was about to say something, but you pulled out the pilk. Yeah, I live to disappoint. That's my favorite thing to do. Yeah, by the way, I've got some pilk. How are you feeling, Stoic? I'm feeling fine. I definitely feel like have I been streaming? Hang on. I've been doing a lot of streaming and like streaming prep and stuff like that. I think that I'm definitely overdue for letting myself chill out, but like I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. I'm motivated. I am fine. I mean, my imposter syndrome is so bad that I was the person in the ER asking myself if my crippling pain and starving was real or if I was just making it up. When I stream, it's always the same whether I'm streaming to one or more. I get that. I get that to a degree. I get that. I haven't been in the ER and asking, like, doubting my own physical pain. I haven't experienced that personally. But I do understand the underlying feeling. Also, I just got death surprised by a spider and my cat ate it. I thought everyone should know that. There was a little baby spider that was trying to do something that was like floating down from like all the soundproofing above me, and it was chilling in front of my lights, and I was watching it and I thought it was like an ant at first. Like, I don't respect ants, literally whatsoever, but I love spiders because they kill the things that fuck with me, like gnats and flies and shit like that. There was once a fly that could bite me, I think they call them horseflies, and one bit me, and it was all I could do not to like physically go outside and grab spiders and bring them back inside and name them and just like let them loose inside the house. If willing, I would recommend cognitive behavioral therapy so that you have somebody who can help you work through this bit by bit together with practice too. But it's up to you, and you can always look around to see who can help you out and break out of it, since I believe in your ability to do so. The cognitive behavioral therapy is a great recommendation. At least partly because if you're interested in any of this stuff that I've gone over or anything that I talk about as far as like Stoicism goes, cognitive behavioral therapy is an established modern version of a lot of the mental techniques that the Stoics stood behind and used and reframed it using like today's terminology and psychological techniques. Where cognitive behavioral therapy differs from Stoicism is that cognitive behavioral therapy teaches you the techniques that Stoicism would, but it doesn't go beyond that. It doesn't tell you why. So if you are looking to make use of Stoicism and you already have like an established belief system, or you're just put the mental techniques in the bag, bro, then cognitive behavioral therapy is gonna be good for you. If you're trying to like learn how to use the techniques and you're like, okay, but like why am I bothering? Like, what am I doing? And you want to try like a version of cognitive behavioral therapy that could work for you, that could give you that why until you, if or when you decide to replace it later. There's just barely enough Stoicism out there, surviving Stoic material, to be able to suss out how to get yourself to the why part. Sometimes I struggle with it too. Sometimes I also experience my own version of imposter syndrome, and it's only very recently that I've been able to kind of help myself get over it a little bit. Not perfectly, but a little bit. I have too, especially as a woman, so sorry, Flickson. I've been in therapy for years and it helps in this slow process. It's one thing at a time. It's a setback with every health crisis and everything that happens, but yes, it helps. The important thing is that despite how slow the process is, you are still trying one step at a time, and I'm proud of you for that. You didn't give up. You're still doing what you can, even if there are struggles. The important thing to remember is that you're still trying a step at your time at your own pace. Agree. 100% agree. I think we're coming up on the hour and 30-minute mark. Let me check to see if there's anything else in Marshmallow. We are gonna take probably like a 20-minute break so that I can like undo everything that I did for the Stoicism stream, and then we're going to shift over to Chronos and New Dawn Part 4. Thank you for the hydrate. Almost reached for the pilk, like unironically. Almost took a hit of the pilk, man. Honestly, it's not that bad. People take issues with the pilk. It's honestly not that bad. It's like fucked up chocolate milk, I'll say. Like Pepsi does not identify as chocolate, but like when you mix it with milk, it's not that bad. At some point, he will get used to it. I don't want the pilk mixed with a goddamn overnight heated pepperoni. But they can kiss. They can kiss in my tummy. It's not that. Yes, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Here, you want some? Here you go. We'll take a hit. Come on. You clink your glass against the screen. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. We'll do a shot just for free. You guys have been good. You guys have been good. You guys have been good. No thanks, Pops. You didn't even try it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'll do it. No! POV, my face when, your face when. You're hanging with Keith, and then after his stream, I'm not gonna say the thing that you did. Maybe I will say the thing that you did. But you were like, I hate that face that you just made, and I was like, what face? and you're like the fuckboy face. Oh, that's really shitty. Okay. I have to literally do I have to do like a :3 face IRL to make me smile with my mouth tiny like that. I can't, dude.
Excuse me, bitch.
Cringe. This man is built different. Did you check the package of that pepperoni, by the way? No, I have to fish it out of the trash. I won't eat any more of it. That time has passed, for sure. I'm still convinced that if I go to the store and grab another pepperoni package, that'll actually like overpower the bad pepperoni that's in my stomach. I'm basically doing science. I swear you'd always stoic, but out with that face. Why? Why? You know like? All right. We're gonna take like a 20-minute break. Yeah, I've been bad. Yeah, I've been naughty. We're gonna take like a 20-minute break. If you enjoyed this, consider following. No marshmallow Q&A. Let me check again. One more time. Let me be sure. No, there's nothing else. We're gonna take a 20-minute break. And then Chronos for a bit. And then we're all gonna get snuggly and watch Dune Part 1. Probably not, but I did watch it before stream. Well, I didn't watch it, I like listened to it. Rest your throat, hydrate, refill drinks. I will. All right, see you in a bit.